Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to English Right Now, the English Right Now podcast. You're listening to your host, Roy Woodhouse. And today in this podcast, we're talking about the 10 most common New Year's resolutions from British people. Now, they're not in any particular order at first, but we will talk about the numbers later on. But we're talking about the 10 most common New Year's resolutions. And I am talking with my dear friend, Rob. Hello, Rob.
Hello. Hi, Roy. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too. So, as I said in the intro, today we're talking about the top 10 most common New Year's resolutions by UK people, by people in the UK. Mm-hmm. And this is actually a slightly older survey. I'm going to put a link for this survey. And it was done by YouGov in 2021. And I've seen the list. You haven't seen the list. And some of the resolutions, I would say, are quite predictable. Predictable basically means they're easy to guess. What sort of New Year's resolutions do you think are going to be in the top 10?
Well, if they're resolutions like mine, it's get fit, eat more healthily, just improve your kind of health and well-being, really. I guess that's the sort of thing.
Very, very good. I think you're probably onto something there. They are quite predictable. Any others you can think of?
What about saving money? That's always a good one. I'm going to save more money this year or spend less money.
Frugal. That's a good word. To be frugal, which basically means to be good with your money.
Or we might say tight.
Yeah, but that's quite negative.
Yeah.
If you're tight or tight-fisted, it means you don't want to spend money. So what I'm going to do now, as I said, this is from 2021. So we can also discuss how things may have changed from 2021 to 2025. But number one is exercise more. Surprising?
Yeah. Not really. That's one of mine, to be honest. Every year I say, I'm going to get fit. I'm going to run more, walk more, cycle more. It lasts a few days. So it's very predictable, that one.
So get fit basically means to get into shape, to get into good shape. And have you ever been to the gym around sort of the first couple of days of January?
Yeah, in the past, I've tried the gym. I don't like it because I guess more people around me seem to be more fit than I am. So that's quite intimidating. You feel a bit weak, don't you, when there's all these fit guys around. Also, I don't particularly like being in one hot, sweaty building where everyone's getting fit. I'd rather be outside doing my fitness, And also, of course, with the gym, there's the cost, isn't there? You sign up for a subscription, don't you, to the gym, and then you don't use it. So it's a waste of money.
So sign up, that's a good phrasal verb. So to sign up basically means to kind of join a subscription, as you said, and we become a member of the gym, which means you belong to a kind of organization, and we have a membership. I have a membership for the gym, and I very rarely go. Sadly, I hurt my back a few months ago. So it kind of put me off. Put me off basically means cause to dislike. But one thing about January in the gym is a lot of people just join, just in that kind of hope, probably the New Year's resolution. Gyms target people. They use marketing to target. Have you seen any kind of marketing?
Yeah, I've seen lots of marketing, or what I might call promotions or special offers, which is, you get your first month free, or it's half price for the first few weeks. But of course, you sign up for the whole year. So of course, then you start paying full price later on down the road, don't you?
And you kind of forget about it. And then you end up spending a fortune on something you're not using.
I think it involves a bit of willpower, doesn't it? Willpower, that determination to keep going to the gym. You have to really want to do it. And most of us, I think, as I say, New Year, we want to get fit. We feel, after all that food from Christmas, we want to get fit. But then after a while, the novelty, the sort of the benefits of going disappear, and then you stop doing it.
Maybe not the benefits, because the gym is beneficial to our health. But I think it takes, as you say, it takes a lot of willpower, a lot of determination, a lot of kind of real strength of character to keep going and to build that habit. And I think it's very easy to fall off the wagon. That's a great little idiom. Fall off the wagon means that basically we go the wrong way. We leave the path. So if you quit drinking and then you fall off the wagon, it means you start drinking again.
I'm drinking coffee now. Forget alcohol. another resolution. No more alcohol. Dry January. Drink coffee.
Well, let's see if that's in here. So let's talk about number 2, lose weight / improve your diet?
Again, I agree with that. That's like one of my resolutions. I've eaten a lot of bad stuff over the last few weeks. I want to get fit. And part of that is eating more healthily. So I'm determined to cut out the chocolate, cut out the alcohol, as I said, look after my diet a bit more. Again, I don't know how long this is going to last for, but that's my aim.
Cut out basically means to, remove from your diet. So to cut something out, you cut out chocolate. You said you've got a sweet tooth. We talked about that previously. How much chocolate have you eaten over Christmas?
A mountain of chocolate, literally loads and loads and loads of it. I've just been gorging on chocolate. I was given a lot, as presents, of course. So you've got to eat it, haven't you? It'd be rude not to. Yeah, after a while, your belly starts increasing, doesn't it? And so it starts to show how much chocolate you've eaten. You can't hide it anymore. So yeah, gorging on chocolate is nice to do for a short while, but not now. It's January.
And you used a beautiful word there, gorging. So if you're gorging on something, you're really like eating huge amounts very quickly. It's like sort of stuffing your face, like, you can't stop eating. I'm never leaving you alone with my son's chocolate. That's the truth. So number 3 is save more money. This is one you mentioned is quite predictable. Save more money.
I'm going to do it. I think, particularly again, after Christmas, you spend a lot of money over the Christmas festivities, buying presents, of course, going out and enjoying yourself. It all costs a lot of money. So I think when January comes and we all sober up a bit, not, metaphorically, we sober up and we start thinking, well, it's the new year. I've got to start saving money, particularly if I want to pay for things over the year, like, summer holidays and things like that. You need to start saving money. So yeah, it's time to be frugal, as you said earlier.
Yep, absolutely. And I think as well, you talked about sobering up. So sober is when we no longer have, literally, it means when we no longer have alcohol in our system. So in the morning, you may sober up. But we also have that sobering experience, which is a kind of figurative usage where you become more aware of reality once a kind of festivity or some kind of time of huge emotion is over. So it is a very sobering experience in January when you look at your bank balance. And another sort of usage of alcohol where it's not another figurative use. So we have the hangover. And a hangover, after we drink alcohol, sometimes in the morning we feel ill, we have a headache. This is the literal use. That is called a hangover. Maybe you feel sick, nauseous, these sort of things. That's a hangover. But we often say a hangover can be used figuratively to mean the effects, negative effects that follow a situation. So, for example, once you've spent all that money, you get this kind of financial hangover into January where you've basically got no money.
You've got to sober up, be realistic, and realize that money doesn't grow on trees.
Oh, I love that expression. Money doesn't grow on trees. That's something my dad says a lot. It's basically saying money doesn't come out of nowhere. In other words, you have to work and earn money. It's a great dad expression to tell your children. Let's talk about number 4, pursuing a career ambition. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, a lot of people do that, don't they? I've done that in the past. It hasn't been very successful, but yeah, I think again, because this kind of sobering effect of you've had your fun, you've had the festivities, it's a new year, new beginning, you've got the whole year ahead. You want to achieve something, don't you? So therefore, you might think about changing jobs or improving your career prospects, maybe by going on a training course or an evening course, something like that, to improve your skills. And yeah, basically improving your prospects. I might just put that on my list, actually. Improve my skills, get a new job, maybe. Roy, what do you think? Shall I get rid of this job and get another one?
Abandon ship. I'd miss you. But yeah, if you want to jump ship, you can. But let's move on to the next one before you do decide to hand in your notice, which means to sort of submit your resignation. Okay, so number 5, Rob, is quit smoking. Quit smoking.
Okay. Interesting, because I don't smoke, so I wouldn't have to quit, would I?
Neither do I. And when we talk about the figures towards the end, we're talking about the overall total list. It's really fantastic because they've broken the list down, male and female, and also into age groups. And then they've given a sort of total. Quit smoking in 2021, I would probably say more people smoked in 2021 than they do now. So maybe that would be less popular. Now, this list that we're giving at the moment, the top 10 are in no particular order, but I would possibly say that that one wouldn't be a top one in 2025. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think fewer and fewer people are smoking now. I think people are beginning to realise the health, the consequences of smoking and the health benefits of not smoking, and also, of course, the cost. Particularly, I'm here in the UK. The cost of cigarettes is going up and up and up. It's getting taxed more, isn't it? And so,
Yeah.
that's another reason not to smoke. But I mean, for health reasons and for everybody's benefit. I mean, I'm not a fan of smoking, and I don't like to be in rooms that are full of cigarette smoke. So I'm very happy if other people want to go ahead and quit smoking. But yeah, I agree, Roy. I think that's not such a big target anymore for someone to do because fewer people are smoking.
Yeah, I think it does. I think a lot of it is health, but I think a lot of it is also, like you say, it's about saving money. It's really expensive to smoke in the UK. And I think a lot of people are now vaping. So that could be more one for 2025. Quit vaping, maybe, which is those kind of electronic devices, which
Yeah.
are like a sort of, or you get those electronic cigarettes as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be sort of quit vaping, quit e-cigarettes.
I guess the
But
other thing is to say that a lot of places in the UK and beyond ban smoking now. So you can't smoke in pubs, but you can't smoke in any public buildings. You can't smoke on trains. You can't smoke at railway stations. So there's not many places left to smoke. So probably it's a good idea to quit anyway.
I actually saw somebody yesterday, I think it was yesterday, and they were smoking inside a bus shelter. Now I know they're kind of exposed, but I think you're not allowed to smoke inside a bus shelter, as far as I know.
Right.
And I nearly said something, but I thought it's New Year's Eve, and yeah, or New Year's Day, and I don't really want to get into a conflict with
Yeah.
somebody. But yeah, quit smoking. I'd definitely say it's rarer to see people smoking these days. It's becoming less and less common to see people smoking, and it's almost like, oh my goodness, you smoke. It's a surprise. Whereas maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, it wasn't surprising. It's changed very quickly in the UK from being popular to being almost non-existent. And so number 6 on the top 10 would be decorating or renovating your home.
Yes, I mean I can understand that one. I probably wouldn't do it because I'm not very keen on that sort of thing. What we call DIY, do it yourself, DIY. I don't really like. I'm not very good at it, and I wouldn't really want to
No, I'm
do it.
not.
But I understand that. Yeah,
If I'm going to decorate or renovate my home, I will have to pay for somebody to come and help me with that. I'm an English teacher, not a. I can't.
yeah.
I admire people who can do things with their
Yeah.
hands. I'm always like amazed when somebody can just with a drill put the shelf up in about 20 seconds, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Amazing. Yeah,
well done.
I know. You're an
But
intellectual, Roy. I know you're an
yeah,
intellectual, not a craftsman. But anyway, yeah, no.
no,
But again, I do understand why some people make this a resolution. Again, it's the start of the new year. You look around your house, you're thinking, oh, it needs a bit of work, needs a bit of TLC, tender loving care.
tender loving
So
care. Yeah.
yeah, so you have this incentive to improve your house. Again, whether you ever
Yeah.
do it or not, I don't know. It's good to say it, but whether you act on your words, I'm not sure.
Act on your words. That's great. What you say, do what you say, basically. And we often talk about it's actions, not words. So we talk
Hmm.
about, it's more important what you do than what you say. But number 7 is learn a new skill or hobby. Any of
Yeah.
these for you?
Well, yeah. I mean, again, it doesn't have to be New Year. You could do it any time, really, couldn't you? But again, we talked a while ago, didn't we, about a career change, and that might involve learning new skills. So I can understand, they sort of go together a bit. A new year, why not learn something new? You've got the whole year ahead of you. Here in the UK, it's still winter, so it's dark all the time anyway. So why not make the use of your evenings and learn a new skill, get a new qualification that might help you further down the line, further
Yeah.
down the year? That's a good
Uh,
one. I haven't really thought about that one for this year. Maybe I should have done. Maybe I need some
no,
new skills.
that's interesting. So it kind of combines with that pursuing a career ambition. It could do if
Hmm.
it's a sort of skill that would help you with your career. But what's interesting, a lot of my students, now, of course, they're my students on the course, and they're all saying I'm going to study harder and learn more English and learn more language. I don't think English, on the whole, I don't think English people, many people would say I'm going to learn a language. We don't not many people that I know speak a second language. I speak Portuguese, I speak English, but that's because I lived in Brazil for 3 years. But not a lot of English people that I know have sort of. I think English is a language that's so important across the world. You can go everywhere and speak English to a certain degree. So I think a lot of people neglect learning a language. A lot of British people. Not
No, you're right. You're
my,
right. There's one exception, maybe, to the learning languages. Maybe if you're going on holiday this year, to Spain or South America, you might think, I'll try and learn Spanish because, I can then converse in Spanish when I go on holiday. I mean, not many people in the UK would do that. They're quite lazy and they assume people will speak English. But that might be one reason why you might want to learn a language, this time of year before you go on holiday.
Yeah. And if you do want to learn any Spanish, we can do it together, maybe.
Okay.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We're good. We're fluent now. That moves us on to number 8, which is cutting down on drinking. Cutting down on drinking. And obviously, like, this list of 10 isn't in order. It isn't, this is actually a bit higher than other things on the list. Cutting down on drinking. Surprising?
Absolutely not. That's one of my resolutions. That's one of my aims. Again, back to the fact, it always happens after Christmas, doesn't it? Over Christmas, you indulge a bit, you drink more than you should do. There's more on offer to drink. Not everybody drinks, of course, but a majority of us do, I think. And new year, new start. Not only do you want a healthy body with healthy food, you also want to get rid of all that alcohol out of your system and start drinking more healthily, drinking water maybe, or non-alcoholic options. So this is definitely one that I would agree with. It's one that I'm going to do. But again, we talk about dry January. A lot of people say, I'm not going to drink throughout January, and a whole dry January, but it usually lasts about a week for me. So let's check in a week's time and see how it's going. Sure.
It's really sad that you say that, because it's like a month. It's 4 weeks, and people usually fail within a couple of weeks. It's not a long period of time when you think about it, but I love the fact it's cutting down on drinking. It's not stop drinking. We have quit smoking, which means a definitive end. Cutting down means reducing drinking. That's what they offered people. That's their most common resolution. So I think drinking is still a major part of British culture, less so than it was. We've talked about this recently, but less so than it was. But it's still there. And I too, to be fair, I don't drink that much anymore. It's, once you've got young kids and things like that, it's just completely impractical to have a drink of an evening, because you're always needed for something. But it's a common one. And number 9, I was really happy about this one. We're going to talk about all this, the actual percentages. Number 9 is volunteering.
That's
Surprised?
A good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised, because a lot of the other resolutions are about thinking about yourself, what you're going to do for yourself, get fit, get healthy. This one is about thinking of other people, obviously, and giving your time up to other people. So I am quite surprised that people think like that. I mean, it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I think it's very commendable to volunteer and to help other organisations and charities and give them your free time, but not one I would think of as a New Year's resolution, to be honest. So I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised, happily surprised. You said commendable, which basically means something that is admirable, something that you think like, wow, that's a really good thing to do. And free time is our spare time when we're not doing anything. And volunteering is basically doing something without receiving payment or receiving reward to help other people or to help a cause. Have you ever volunteered?
I've helped out on a hospital radio station once before. Yeah. I have done volunteering, but it was a long time ago, so I can't remember.
Get it on your New Year's resolutions list, Rob.
Yes.
Over the years, I've raised quite a bit of money for charity. That's one thing I was really sort of passionate about as a younger. But I think I could do more. I'm going to add that to my New Year's resolution. I'm going to try and do some volunteering. Finally, number 10, spending more time with family and friends. This surprised me, because usually after Christmas, you've spent so much time with your family that you probably want a break. But I think maybe you reconnect. You start to remember the amazing times you had as a kid with your family, and maybe you start to think, I do sometimes say this because I don't see my cousins very often. They live in the north of the country, and I always say, I'm going to see them this year, and then we maybe meet once, and it's Yeah, I think it's something that I would like to add, but I don't think, and spending more time with my friends, I spend quite a bit of time with my friends. But of course, once you've got your own children and things like this, and maybe it's about spending time with your children. What do you think?
Yeah, well, that's no bad thing, is it? I mean, first of all, I mean, I'm surprised that it's a New Year's resolution, to be honest, as you say, because you've spent so much time with family already. But I think generally speaking, it's a very good, healthy thing to spend more time with obviously with your immediate family, your children, very important, but your extended family as well. I think, brothers and sisters, cousins. I think it's good to connect because, yeah, we should all be, in a family and treasure that. So I think it's a good thing. But I am surprised that people think about that in the new year. Really,
There you go. So that was the top 10. They were in no particular order. We're just going to quickly talk about sort of the kind of statistics. Now, the way they did it, they asked different people of different age groups. One thing I noticed is that the older people get, the less likely they are to make New Year's resolutions. So that's one thing that's on there. So, like, I think 21% of 18 to 24-year-olds made New Year's resolutions, whereas only 7% of 55 plus. Do you think we get more cynical? Cynical means less kind of positive outlook on things, more negative towards things as we get older about New Year's resolutions.
yeah, we do get more cynical. We kind of perhaps think it's just a waste of time because nothing's going to change, nothing's going to improve. Maybe earlier in life you've tried all these resolutions, they've never worked. You think, what's the point? I'm just wasting my time. Or the other thing, maybe you're thinking as you get older, you're thinking life is for living and enjoying. So why, punish yourself by reducing all this stuff? Just enjoy it.
You are sounding cynical. Let's be positive. Maybe these people have had so many New Year's resolutions, they've completed them all. So they're in such great positions at the age of 55 plus that they don't. But I do think there's an air of cynicism towards it. And as I said, like, they asked different age groups. It's a fantastic read if you can check out YouGov.com for this. I'll put the link definitely on the YouTube video. Just to go quickly down the statistics. And I find it the questions they were asked: doing more exercise and improving fitness. That was 37% of people's New Year's resolutions. They'd had that. Losing weight, 38%. Improving diet, 32% of New Year's resolutions were about that, because we pushed those two together. Saving more money was 28%. And then cutting down on drinking was actually 16%. And that was, fairly high. That goes above pursuing a career ambition at 13, and then giving up smoking, decorating or renovating part of the home, taking up a new hobby. They were all 10%. 10%. Spending family time was 13% as well. And the one that I found really intriguing, so the volunteering was 5%, the raising more money for charity was 3%, but 10% of sort of New Year's resolutions were about spending less time on social media. And it was particularly, unsurprisingly, popular in the 18 to sort of 24 age group. 22% of people, their resolutions were about that. I would think that that's now higher. I think more people are becoming aware of the amount of time we spend on social media. What do you think?
No, I agree. I think there's a bit of a backlash to social media now, and that even the young people, you might be surprised at that a few years ago, but even they're saying, I want my life back. I'm not going to spend my time looking at my phone, unless it's English Right Now, of course. Then you want to be watching your videos.
I enjoy like educational content. So if I'm looking through my social media, there's a lot of education. I can learn a bit of Portuguese, bit of languages. I can learn history. There's a lot of really interesting social media accounts, but there's also a lot of kind of more
trivial
content, which means it's not really kind of that important. And you end up just kind of doom scrolling, as we've said before. Doom scrolling is where you just basically scroll and you lose track of time, and you end up watching videos that aren't really educational and serve no purpose other than just kind of sort of kind of almost hypnotizes you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think we just have to be more selective, basically, in what we watch and consume. Yeah, rather than just watching and watching everything.
And
just be
on that note, talking about selective, what I'm going to say is we've talked about cutting down on drinking. That's one thing. pub culture is huge in the UK. If you do want to learn more about pub culture, check out this video right now on phrasal verbs. Check if you know all these phrasal verbs connected to drinking, and enjoy that lesson.